to the NFT show, the Defiant NFT show on this day, Thursday, the 2nd of December, the day that we tell you digital fashion is going to do some things to your brain that you will not understand, but you might well like them. We are going to be talking to some fierce females who represent the best of the digital fashion space. Where you talk about dressing up, about fantasy, Rebecca, that basically is your entire job, is creating characters and dreaming up concepts. Can you tell us a little bit about Audrey Mouse, about your projects and how you've come to this? Because you come from a very different side of the tracks than everyone else on the stream.
Yeah, I mean, I have a background in, international fashion, and then, for many years I've been on sitcoms and have been a stand-up comedian. And I saw that I was so intrigued by this space actually through, watching Defiant videos. And I think I suddenly got what this space was when you just said, Robin, that NFTs were tech plus mythology. And that did something to my brain. I was like, wow, we're creating a new language. I can be a part of this. And so I saw that there was kind of no one in the space that I could find who was doing comedy. And so I have this character called Audrey Mouse that was seen by producers in Los Angeles that got me onto this show called New Girl, where I had to explain to one of the characters, which is, Robin's second name, Schmidt.
Yes.
Mickey Mouse, and who Mickey Mouse was, and I broke his penis. But that's by the by. That's nothing to do with Audrey Mouse and NFTs. But that's like
the legendary Nadia. The legendary Nadia. That's you.
Legendary, yes. What is Mickey Mouse? Why don't you get in your spaceship like a Mickey Mouse? Yeah. So that's how the character and then I did lots of different, stand up and different things with her, and I just saw that she could be in this space. And then also I looked at these NFTs and I thought they can be more than just portraits. They can say more. They can be funny. They can say things about, I'd come from a TV project which was challenging the overculture, in this male-dominated industry of fashion. So telling stories which are expansive for women, like, you can start a family in your 40s, you really can, or you can fall in love in your 50s for the first time, and it's not too late, right? And so I thought, well, in these NFTs, I can actually put things in there. So there's this one NFT that we have now, which is a story that I'm telling, which is animated. And it's about how, I had this neighbor in Los Angeles who would watch me from my car every morning. And one morning I just I couldn't stand it anymore. I just turned around and I flipped in the bird. And he literally fell back from the window like I'd shot a gun. And I said to my friend on the phone in the car, I was like, I finally found out what my sacred no looks like. And I said that to a couple of friends, and I put it in my Insta stories, and women were reacting to that. And so I just found that this can be more than just portraits. So yes, we are doing an art collectible drop, but then there it is married with digital fashion. So, shortly after the drop, we are giving away Audrey Mouse holders free outfits to then bridge over to Polly. So then they can have a full body Audrey, and then we will be, building a digital marketplace, which we're doing.
Well, I think the best thing that we can do is show a clip. Okay. And I think it'd be really good to see everybody else's work as well on the stream. So, Al, could you cue up Audrey Mouse talking about Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds. Oh yeah, I love him.
I'll be still finding the clip. So he's almost there. This is live, everybody. Look at that. It's happening, everyone. This is... So what I love about what you've done, Rebecca, is you've taken an aesthetic, you've taken a style, and you've imbued it with your own personality, and you've said, this is just who I am, this is what I want to do. What I loved about it as well is that the drawing style really, it feels classic. It feels like hand-drawn versions of fashion. It feels very old-fashioned in a way, and it's a kind of beautiful expression of those ideas. Alp, have you got some images that we can see? So this is the metaverse fashion version of Audrey. So obviously it's Audrey Hepburn, but it's Audrey Mouse, and you kind of styled yourself. And what people probably don't know is that Rebecca's also formerly a high fashion model. So she's come from this world, and she's probably spent tons of time on photo shoots and on runways and stuff. But so you know this world, and you know what it's like to be this character.
Yeah. Yes.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I also know that, that this digital, fashion world is a little bit complicated right now. And, I know that I want to be a part of it. And that's why I'm working with devs to simplify this, right? Because I want it to be easy, like Etsy, like Amazon. Because we are going to create a full digital marketplace, a bit like the Avogacci model, but several steps further, where we were selling land and we can divide it up. So there will be like brands in there as well as emerging brands. And then, Audrey will bring in the future more characters. So it's Audrey Mouse and Friends, which is my personal favorite part of it, because that's collaborations with other female artists, which I'm very passionate about. Collaborating with other women.
Rebecca,
yeah,
you are someone who's been on TV. You're known. We could call you an influencer. You probably wouldn't want that term, but if you are going to position yourself as the face of this thing, inevitably that's what you will become.
Yeah,
and I also saw that you made a video where you tried to explain cryptocurrency and NFTs. Do you feel there's a burden on you to sort of smooth that on-ramp path for people into this space? Do you kind of know where your audience is and who they are?
Well, I love it because I know that, okay, I read this statistic. It was like upwards of 20-30% of women, like they want to get into cryptocurrency, but they don't know where to begin. And, this is funny. Larry Morris, who plays, Winston on New Girl, he, was going to buy a punk at the very beginning.
No, really?
Yeah, and then he couldn't figure out his MetaMask wallet. And he was like looking at his computer at the MetaMask wallet, looking at his own wallet, and he was just like, "Oh, fuck this," and closed the computer. Because it's just like you want to be a part of it, but you can't. But you don't know how to get in, right? So, what was the question again?
Well, no, it was actually more the burden you think.
No,
yes.
Robin, no, that's the thing. I love the education part of it, and I've done these videos. I'm going to continue to do it, and I've been sharing them on my social media because I'm learning from these videos, like what's cryptocurrency, what are NFTs, how do you set up your MetaMask wallet. I love it because I want to bring more people into this space. That is the Audrey Mouse mission, and I don't know everything. I'm learning. I'm relatively new to this space, but I've just kind of like woken up to the digital gods. They're calling me, and so yeah, I am becoming. I suppose Audrey Mouse is becoming an educator because I'm really interested in it, and I have women all the time. They message me on Instagram, "What's an NFT? I really want to get into this space. My husband's into NFTs. I feel like I should be." And, I just want to make it more accessible.
Yeah, it's one of the things that people say about me is that they feel intimidated by me because
No.
I talk with great kind of elan about everything. And like, I know that I'm not the person that can necessarily communicate to like a vast majority of the population. So I think the more people who have that.
Well, sorry to cut you off. I'm just like surprised because one of the reasons why I am in this space is because of your videos. Like I've watched the one on NFTs a few times.
Which one? I made a bunch.
I think you're such a good communicator. I'm not saying that because I want to come on the show again. Of course I do. But this is true. I'm just really excited to be a part of this space. And really, working, collaborating with other artists. You know, that's a really a big deal for me, especially female artists. You know, I've been meeting lots of artists here who are in the digital space, and you know, they don't really feel like they belong because the limelight is always on the bros. And I'm really hoping that with my marketplace, I can, you know, put more limelight onto women. You know, because obviously there's a digital component, but there's going to be a district, an art districts for people to mint their NFTs as well. So I'm hoping, you know, to bring a light to female, you know, designers and artists.
What do you mean when you say the limelight's always on the bros? Do you feel comfortable giving examples?
Well, I don't know whether this is like, well, I really like that Reese Witherspoon, that she bought some NFTs from World of Women, but she didn't buy from the collection from the very beginning, did she? She bought from the secondary market from some bro that's flipping. So it would be nice if, you know, there was more support of female projects from the very beginning. I mean, Olive Allen, for example, has been in the space from the very beginning, and her work is not as valuable as other men in the space, and it really should be, because it's as good as theirs. So that's something that I'm cognizant of in this space.
I didn't.
Sorry,
yeah, I didn't want to bring it up because, well, I have a young daughter, and I'm conscious of how she's growing into this space, and she loves NFTs, but she loves them because, you know, there's like cupcake cats, and she looks at it and she's like, it's cool. But I'm noticing that she stands in front of the mirror, she does her hair, and she's starting to be more conscious of what she's wearing and how she's wearing it. And I'm also conscious of the fact that her identity and who she might end up being is going to be like a big deal for her in a way that I'm kind of, you know, just flippantly talking about this and that and everything else. But there is definitely a gender bias in blockchain towards men. If I look at the stats for our YouTube channel, it's 92% men. It used to be 99% male. We've managed to redress that balance somewhat, but it is a massive problem. Rebecca, you were about to jump in and say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, if we want more people to come into the space, yeah, the punks are cool and everything. I get the, you know, the alternative, but it's not very pretty, and fashion is known to be, you know, elegant, right? So I think to make more people come into the space, and we do want more people to come into the space, right? It has to be more beautiful. It's not very beautiful right now. Everything looks a bit like a DOS PC. It rubs a lot of people up the wrong way because they can't get into the space. It's like the Web3 is meant to be, you know, open markets, truly accessible. But in the same way that Web2 has its gatekeepers, which are corporations, Web3 has its gatekeeper, which is like complicated entry points. You know, we want to make things, you know, like Macify everything, make it simple and intuitive. Space is not intuitive.
Where Web3 also has its gatekeepers in the sense that, for instance, you know, the Bored Ape community loves the fact that a Bored Ape floor is now, you know, pushing 50 ETH. And that means, you know, I made it. I am part of a kind of sense of a new elite and everything else. And people who got in at the right moment and had that moment, it's the same people who bought Ethereum early, who bought Bitcoin early, they feel in a very privileged position and they don't want to let go of that position. But of course, as soon as they become establishment, you get rebels. And in the rebellion, you get the exciting new things. And it's for me, I see a lot of very exciting things happen. I'm looking for the second album. Can someone deliver a second album? If they can, then I'm sold. But it's very rare that anyone, product, protocol, fashion brand, music brand, anything else can deliver a second album. Because once that initial wave of excitement dissipates or disappears, then what have you got left? It's your own talent. And it's a very naked and rare and difficult place to be if that's all you have. So, Rebecca,
yes,
your drop, when it comes out, you're basically putting yourself on the line and in the images as well. So you've got nowhere to hide.
I know where to hide. That's why I like it.
But that's brave.
I know. That's just who I am. I like to take. I take risks. I am a rebel. I don't know. It just this world suits me. Emma, who I adore. I love that you brought her on this show. I heard her describe Web3 as Return of the Jedi. I like that. That really appeals to me.
Get my hand away. Hang on. Wait. We can do this right. We can do this right. Luke, I am your father. Etc. Etc.
Yeah, I think I've got a big light here as well. If I can pick it up.
Ooh, we got a Zoolander one. Oh my god! Well, listen, it's time for us to kind of wrap this up. But I wonder if there's anything that you've a burning thing that you want to tell us about digital fashion.
I think for me, it's a bit like Los Angeles. I thought I was going there to die, but actually.
Wait! You thought you were going there to die? I thought you were going there to act.
Everybody in Los Angeles, they go to Sinai Hospital, and that's where everybody goes to die in Los Angeles. So I thought
this got morbid really fast.
No, but actually, Los Angeles, a bit like this space, is like super creative. It blows my mind that I could find a voice here and like think in this way. Like I never thought of myself as a tech person, and maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a new person that can be in this space and not be a tech person. And I'm learning on the way. And I'm just finding that there is so much potential in this space. So I'm really excited about, bringing people and showing them what they can do in this and what this place can do for artists. I think it's a great space for artists. Hey,
but listen, there's a danger that it all comes a bit too arty-farty and too in love with itself and too in love with its own reflection. And we have to kind of keep it real to a degree, which I think is what we try and do on the Defiant.
Keep it real then?
I think by being honest, by not gushing too much, like the art of the gush, it tends to kind of happen a lot in the NFT industry. It's like, oh my gosh, I was lost, and then I found cool cats, and
now my mom has a house.
Yeah, my mom has a house. It's like, shut up, nobody cares.
So this space, like for me, I'm from the entertainment industry, where I found out a few years ago why I didn't get a job. I found out this year was because when I walked into the room, I acknowledged everyone, the casting director was the director, and the next girl who got it, she just like immediately, as soon as she walked into the room, she was dating the director, right? In this space, not waiting for anybody's permission, I can date myself. So maybe that's why I'm gushing about this space, because I see it's more freedom.
More freedom, or a different kind of freedom?
Different kind of freedom.
Yeah. And I think I'm worried about overselling this space, and I'm worried about overselling a lot of the things which they're not ready for prime time yet. It's very, very, very expensive to do any kind of business on Ethereum right now. And we have to acknowledge that. It's prohibitively expensive. And if you're trying to explain to people, yeah, you could do this. It's like, yeah, but that costs $65. That costs $120. And if you want to do that, well, that's going to be $500. But you just have to pay it.
But not if you go over to Poly. It's
Polygon.
a fraction of a penny.
It's a fraction of a penny. Well, this is true, but who's gotten far enough to know that actually they can move to Polygon via a bridge and then actually start working there and then have the wherewithal to come back and not get scared and put off by it? So we are
through doing videos like Audrey Mouse videos.
I feel like our audience is on Instagram and they're on TikTok, and if we can present them stuff that feels familiar to them, feels right to them, then it will quickly be picked up by the biggest influencers in the world, who are female, who are young and very fashionable. And it will be through that self-expression that this story gets told. And it will be Web3 stuck underneath something that is just, a pair of sneakers, or it's a dress, or it's a hat, or a garment, or a bag. But I feel genuinely that fashion is the gateway drug for like the entire world to understand Web3. And I don't really understand why nobody gets that. Because it's so obvious and so clear, and we have AR filters. Like all the technologies already exist. There's no onboarding necessary. It's right there.
But Robin, what you've just said is so exciting. That makes me want to gush about the space.
Stop gushing!
So people are saying that the space, but then you keep on making these excellent arguments about why it's so great.
I am the gusher. You don't need to gush. I gush for you.
I wish I could hear that laugh right now.
Well, the thing is, I have to be quite sober and normal about all of this stuff, particularly when it comes to DeFi, because it's kind of like I have to explain deeply complex financial things. But then when it comes to the metaverse, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a girl. I'm gonna be an alien. I'm gonna be like a robot or whatever. I don't care. I am the one who gushes. Damn it. If that's written on my tombstone, then I've done well. So Rebecca, just get someone to gush for you. Like we can hire a gusher for you.
Yeah, I need a gushing GIF.
A gushing GIF. A gushing. Well,
see, a waterfall.
This is Web3. Someone can start creating that stuff for you. What do you do? I make gushing GIFs. That's my job.
I have an amazing animator.
Gushing GIFs.
Gushing GIFs.
Yeah, who does your artwork?
Peterson. Sometimes I change his name. Petersonman. He does all the animations. He's amazing. He like stays up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing them because it takes a long time to
Shady's like 2 a.m. amateur, like real people just stay up all night. We don't sleep.
Have you tried 3 days without sleep?
Yeah, Antwerp posse.
I have anxiety. I mean, I only slept 2 hours last night because it's just like this space moves so quickly. I just like can't sleep. It's like.
Thanks so much for being on the stream with us. There he is.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me on, Robin. I really appreciate it. I just love the Defiant so much.
There's a gush. Stop gushing.
Why? Why is that a bad thing? Tell me one reason why it's a bad thing. Because you want me to
cringe, mega cringe.
Yeah, it's not bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm a young male in the prime of life, trying to find my way in the world.
He's come to LA to die.
Come to LA to die. Welcome.
And that's where the stream ended in chaos. But these things, it's Friday night. It should be a party. My thanks to Emma J. McKinnon. It's Thursday. Shit.
Oh, it is. I didn't even notice.
I didn't realize.
I can't wait to go back to LA. Hate now.
My thanks to Nima Lashon and Emma J. McKinnon-Lee. My thanks to Shaylee Harrison and Rebecca Ballantyne Reid for joining us on the stream. There's so much more we could talk about, but we'll do it offline when no one else is watching. Right. Thank you so much. It's time to end. I will see you on the next one. Peace!